apart, you're never far.
Imprinted upon my heart.
Start with Anne Francis. I had a very small interaction with her that I think about quite often, even though like it was like less than 5 minutes long. I was at my, I think, second grooming competition, and I was by myself for some reason. Like our whole shop was going to be there, but for some reason nobody was actually there. And it was like the poodle class, and so it was like really, really early in the morning probably. And I remember like carrying my toolbox, and I had my dog, and like I was completely flustered. Like I looked like a chicken with its head cut off, I'm sure. And I was like very much like dying on the inside, like very much struggling, like, oh my God, like how do people do this? And I'm like trying to get things together. I think I was like trying to put like table risers underneath the table to make it be higher, because at All American they don't have the nice tables that they do at Fun in the Sun. And I'm like trying to put this table raiser, and my dog is like freaking out. And Anne Francis, who I knew who she was, you know, and she comes over to me, and I'm like, oh my God, why is Anne Francis coming over to me? Like, be cool, be cool, be cool. And she's like, don't worry, it's okay, I got you. And she helps me like put the table up. She like said some other nice words to me, and basically was like, you know, we've all been there, like it's gonna be okay, like don't worry, I've been in your shoes, like it's gonna be all right. And I remember saying something to her, and then immediately thinking like, oh my God, why did I just say that to Anne Francis? Why did I just say that to Anne Francis? But that was like a really small interaction. But I remember the rest of that competition, that show, anytime she saw me, even if it was from far away, she would wave hello to me. And it's just one of the nicest things. And I just, it just means the world to me, you know, like that small little thing. I still think about it. And it's been like 5 years, you know, it's crazy.
Anne Francis, as you may or may not know, is one of my favorite people. And we have such a long history because we competed together and now we judge together. And when we were in Canada this year judging together, we had a couple of fun times. Like we went out to a bar and we watched a drag show, and that was a blast too. But one of my favorite memories of Anne, and this cracks me up every time, and she knows what story I'm always going to tell about her, because to me this was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. But we're standing in I think it was Pasadena, and we were standing by the judging ring, and I was with Jared, Lane, and Anne. And there was like a lot of international teams that year, and there was this team from Japan that had come. And so they had one of their representatives, not a groomer, or he might be in the grooming industry, but he wasn't a competitor. And he was a very well-dressed, very, very tall, slender, kind of proper representative from the team. And he's dressed in this like black suit. And, you know, he comes up and he was like, he was saying, Jared, I've been trying to find you. I wanted to give you my card, you know, but he's very soft spoken. He has a very thick Japanese accent. So he reaches into his like lapel here and he pulls out a business card and he hands it to Jared like this. Like he goes forward and he hands it to Jared, like places it in his palms like this. And so Jared, like, you know, very delicately picks up the card and bows his head and says, thank you. And then he reaches in his lapel and he places another card in his hand and he hands it over to me in the same manner. And so I very delicately pick the card up and I nod and he nods back to me. And then he takes a third card out and he's about to turn to Anne and do the same thing. And Anne reaches out and grabs the hand. She goes, how you doing? I'm Anne Francis. And shook the little man's arms, and his whole body shook all over the place. And I swear to God, he thought she was going to attack him. It was the funniest shit I ever saw in my life. But, oh my God. And he was like, oh hello, Anne Francis. It was so funny. Oh, I laugh about that with her every time I see her. Because, you know, Anne, she's got this boisterous personality. So, I mean, it was just so funny. Oh my God, I have tears in my eyes thinking about it. Love you, Anne.
Though miles lay in between.
Close my eyes and dream.
There you are in my serene.
Anne was the first groomer I saw that had colored hair. Like funky colored hair in the ring. She
Mhm.
was like the first person. Once again, I think it was the same show. I think it was Atlanta Pet Fair, back when you had the groom studio.
Mhm.
So we're going like back, but we walked in and everything. She was wearing a dress, which is an Anne rule. Always got to look good in the ring, but also because it's too goddamn hot. That was my favorite first line from her. She's like, it's too goddamn hot. Oh, okay. And then with Anna, it's always like, she always would pop in. Like, I'd just be sitting as a vendor, like behind a vendor booth or something like that. Or she's like, where's Helen? I thought she was in the ring. She always brightens up the day, and like, she tries to. And the sauciness, like just her personal sauciness is just amazing. She doesn't care. Once again, does not care. Will say what's on her mind. It's great. Because you just sit there, you're just like, oh, give me that tea. Thank you for inspiring me in a way to not give a shit about my hair color, because that was something that I was worried about for the longest time. Now I walk into jobs like I have purple, blue, green, and if they don't like me, it's not a place I want to be.
Was even apart.
All I need to do is remember the truth.
From my heart, you will never depart.
Just a quick little funny memory story of Anne.
Okay.
From bits, I think it was I guess now 3 years ago. I think we were all outside, and I had no idea what Florida weather was like. And I got there because it was my first time ever in Florida, and it was like so fucking hot that I didn't like get a pedicure or anything like that, because I just didn't know. Thought I was going to be like in closed-toed shoes the whole weekend. So I'm standing around, and Anne and there's like Sue's there and a bunch of people are there, and I said, oh yeah, like I totally didn't get a pedicure. And she's like, don't worry, it's been noted. Don't let that happen again. Ever since then, I've always had my nails done. I've always had my feet done.
I don't know. I think the only story I can actually think of from all our travels is the time that we watched another car hit a cat, and this poor cat went flying through the air. And I don't know why. I was like, that sucks. And poor Anne was driving and was just staring straight ahead and like could no longer function. Mackenzie's crying in the back seat, and I'm just like looking at both of them, dumb that they're so affected by this poor little cat that we never met. It's just a rando. And I was like, you guys are like the nicest people in the world. I'm already it. And poor Anne is like just trying to hold it together, driving down the road. Anne is like the whole reason that I travel to compete in the first place. Like I used to do when I lived in Rhode Island. I did the New England show. I did Intergroom. I think I competed at Hershey once, and that was over like 2 years. And then when I started going to Anne's, like she would have like Sunday like mini lessons, and she would invite people to work on a carry, work on Portuguese water dogs, work on poodles. And so it was like a really laid back, like just come do the dog, it's fine. So I would start doing that. And at one of those, she asked me if I was going to the Atlanta show. And I was like, no, that's like forever away. I'm not doing it. You should come, just come with us. And I was like, okay, I guess. And she was like, wait a minute, let me ask the other people if that's okay. So I was like, all right. So she got back to me and she was like, yeah, come with us. So my first travel experience for competing was to Atlanta, all because Anne told me to go. And I don't think I've missed a competition since then. All I have to do is go outside and I can hear Anne laughing in Massachusetts. It is the to drown out all other laughs. I hope she knows how inspiring she is to like the average everyday groomer and any groomer who's just trying to do better, because she's so inviting and so open with the knowledge that she has and so willing to help.
Get in the car. Heard some rantings after many people have gotten out of the car about how when she put the bench seat behind there for some person to lay down, she didn't expect that he would lay there the whole trip.
Jared.
Jared. She just cracks me up with her little witty comments every now and then. You know, she's someone that you wouldn't expect to have sarcastic, and to be honest with you, she really doesn't. I don't think she openly, I think she's very careful about being sarcastic about some things. But then when she gets a little slider in there, you're like, holy cow, did that come from Anne? You know, I don't have any specifics that way. You know, Anne's just always been one of those people that even before I felt like I kind of knew her, or she knew me, that if I wanted to ask a question of someone, she was one that wasn't going to just like shoot you down right away. She was always going to try her best to answer you, or refer you to somebody that could answer your question or help you along the way. You know, I loved her competing, especially in, you know, I envy her salon freestyle grooms. They were so fun and so cute. And she does a beautiful breed profile too. But, you know, the salon freestyle grooms, just every single one of them, I've tried to be able to find a dog that I could try that style on. So, yeah, really creative and really kind, and I love watching what she produces when she has fun with the little ones.
Yeah.
She's always organized. She always seems to know what's going on with all the people that she's come with. You know, it seems like she just always has like, you know, what the agenda is going to be in her head. Like that's just there, and she knows what the plan is and how to kind of keep people on task moving forward, or, you know, who's running loose leashed and needs to be reined in, you know. Can you find Ellen? She's supposed to do blah, 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 you know. Yeah, but Anne
Francis. So I honestly don't have like a ton of stories with Anne, which is really unfortunate to me. Like it's emotionally devastating, and I really hope I get to like hang out with Anne more, because like every time I see her, she is so like, she's just such a huge personality, right? That like you get within like a few feet of her and she's just like, you just know that she's there. She's like permeates through the show floor, right? And she's just so like cool and fun. And I mean, I've lent her a dog at Hershey. She borrowed a poodle that I had in an Airedale trim, and you know, we were talking after her seminar and everything. I was taking the dog back, and she was just like, you know, it's like really cool, this trim. She's like, I really actually like it. And I was like, that's super cool, thanks. She's like, you should have seen the other stuff that was getting offered to me. Like, Kat, it was just garbage.
Garbage.
Like, right?
It's garbage.
Just trash. So yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten to like hang out with her a lot. I haven't gotten to see her a lot. She's judged me a couple of times, and like, she's always a lot of fun as a judge and everything. She is in fact the reason that I wear glasses. Anne Francis judged a Wheaton that I did, and I have never been more proud of a finish in my life. Holy shit, I felt like the greatest groomer in the world that day. And I was like, yeah, this Wheaton, this is amazing. This is perfection in a groom right here. And you know, I got first. I was thrilled, super proud of myself. And then she's like going over it, and I get my critique. And she's like, oh, I mean, it's really super pretty. You really need to work on your finish, though. And I was just like, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me? No, my finish is amazing. This is great. And I was like, show me where my finish isn't good, right? And she grabs the comb and does this. And I still didn't see where the finish wasn't good. So that was the day that I realized maybe I should go have my vision checked. So that's like, it's either me or it's Anne. So, like, somebody's eyes aren't right here. So I get home and I, like, call and go for an eye exam. Yeah, it turns out my depth perception is off. Okay, so Ms. Anne Francis.
Get in the car. I don't think that words can actually sum up what Anne means to me. Holy shit, man. Like, I assisted for her and Mackenzie for a couple of years. I took the Sprinter rides. We drove to Tennessee with her new Sprinter van, and the death light came on, and then they wouldn't go over like 35 miles per hour. I mean, it's like, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning or something ridiculous. And she's having a panic attack, and I'm reading through the manual, and I was like, oh, okay, like, this is what we have to do. And, like, you know, Jared and Mackenzie are snoozing in the back. But, Anne Francis is, a force of nature. She's a great confidant. She's the most supportive friend I've ever had in the grooming industry, like, for real. Like, she just wants to see everybody, like, do their best all the time. I've never heard her say, like, even if she doesn't agree with somebody and she's like, she'll know what this means, but if you have to pry your dog out of their cold dead hands, she still is that person's friend. And it started with, like, my first place was at APF, and I competed with a Pomeranian, and it was me and 7 Bichons in the class, and Cheryl Purcell was my judge, and I didn't think I placed. I knew I didn't place. How would a Pomeranian beat a Bichon? I fucking placed first. But Pomeranians at the time had an hour and a half. And you could use them. That's an important part. So, like, I had finished my palm, and I already been judged, and I had the palm, like, sitting in my lap, and I'm petting it, like, fucking up its hair, because how did I beat a Bichon? And, yeah, no, I placed first, and I have that dog, like, stacked back up on my table, and, like, my one photo that is way better than my win photo is me stacking this dog with a shit-eating grin on my face. And here goes Anne Francis, blurry in the background, walking by. And that's how I met Anne. And that is the only person on this list of judges that I know when I met her. And it was then. And it was her laugh. And she told me what a great job I did and how cute my dog was. And, like, because we just celebrated 7 years of friendship on Facebook. And I can't imagine my life without Anne Francis. She helped me so much. Like, between dealing with JB's, like, coat and being like, well, did you have to put conditioner on it? And it's like, obviously not. I'm scissoring it. Just put conditioner on it. And it, like, saved my life. And, the Sprinter rides and giving me advice and just being there when I'm having, like, a bad time and just, like, keep going. And, like, I don't even know if she'll remember this, but my car broke down. Well, she'll remember this part. My car broke down on the way to NEPGP. The computer went. Shut down on the highway as I was crossing into the state of Rhode Island. And it would not go over 35 miles per hour. And it was raining. And it, like, shut down on the highways going 70 miles. Thank God there was, like, a rest stop right there because I, like, rolled in and I literally rolled into a hill because I couldn't stop.
Oh, my God.
My car shut off. I call her up because I'm rooming with her and Eric and I'm crying. And, you know, I have all these dogs in the back and I'm supposed to compete and I'm just, like, sobbing. And so I'm trying to get to the show site. I'm trying to get to the show site. And I get so far, and I have to get towed, and they pick me up at the dealership, and they, like, unload my car, and it's, like, ungodly late, and if anybody knows Anne, they know she likes her sleep. And, picks me up, like, no problem, whatever. My car is there for motherfucking, like, 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
And it is Black Friday, and my car is finally ready. So I take the Amtrak up to Boston, or to Walpole, or wherever the hell they were at, and, like, I go to the Village Groomer, and, like, we're doing a little, like, she used to have, like, little groups come in and, like, okay, we're gonna work on this dog, we're gonna work on that dog, and Mackenzie, I think, was doing cockers with us, so it was, like, me and Eric and Ann and Mackenzie, and then, like, Crystal Purcell, and we go to, like, Pet Edge, and we, like, they're having, like, their Black Friday sale, so we, like, we go shopping there, so we do this, like, little lesson, we go shopping, then we go to see Eric doing a drag show, and but, like, I went all over, and I stayed at her house, and it was, like, this amazing, like, we had an amazing time. And we're driving, I think, to pick up my car, and we're talking about, like, groom team stuff, and, like, if we were on the board, what would we change, and, like, all this other stuff. And, like, I was talking about, like, Bichon's 2 hours, and, like, this, that, and the other thing, and, like, you know, I would do this, I would do that. And here she is, on the groom team board, making shit happen right now.
Oh.
And, like, the shit that we talked about. And, like, I know, like, not everything worked out the way that she envisioned or wanted or deserved. But, like, she's making shit happen, and she's one of the most quintessential people in my life. Like, she's a friendship that has done more and meant more to me than, like, a lot of people. Like, that I've done a lot of stuff for. Like, Anne's friendship doesn't come with a cost. She doesn't expect anything from anybody except, like, to laugh. And it's easy to laugh with her because her laugh's fucking infectious as shit.
Right.
And I miss hearing it at every single show. And Anne should send her more.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. If Anne were a dog, what kind of dog would she be?
She'd be a motherfucking pit bull. like a good, goofy pit bull. Like a just fucking hilarious, you know? Like, makes you laugh. And then if somebody tries to fuck your day up, man, she will fuck their day up. I love that about her. She's just fiercely loyal. With, like, this goofy, like, loves her people side. Like, she's just fierce. In the best possible way. Best possible way.
Even apart, you're never far, imprinted upon my heart.
Though miles lay in between, I close my eyes and dream. There you are, in my serene.
Because even apart, all I need to do is remember the truth. From my heart, you'll never depart.